Okay, here we go. This is another flood match, and of course, this is one of the best maps on the game has. This is a really good match. There's a huge number of people in it. This is just from, I think this is from, I don't know when this is from. This is from a few days ago. A lot of the flood matches I get into, or I feel like they're pretty good. I could probably just post nothing but flood matches, really. Once again, the usual start goes. I'm gonna run straight to prime. Once in a while, I'll screw up and grab the orb, and then I have to take a toe out the center and play that role. That's the other end of this equation. But usually I go straight to prime, build the prime, then go straight back here and grab the orb again to complete the second run. And if the rest of the team were on the ball, there'd be a taxi there waiting for me. But that never happens. This time I've run into, there's the stealth vendor from the enemy team, and he's kind of prevented me from taking my usual route. Now I'm being chased around by this guy. This is some kind of a noob here, and it's just gonna be incredibly tenacious, you know. Okay, he finally went down, but I was so weak after that I figured I better just play it safe and cap the flood, which is what I usually do when it comes down to something like that. That's gonna leave red with the center, which means our prime is open, so we got to worry about that. I'm gonna respond, since somebody else has the orb. I'm gonna respond by trying to run to the center and put fire on it. Although the longer I screw around here, the less chance I'm gonna have of actually doing anything useful out here, especially since I've got people shooting back at me now. And yeah, that's the end of that. That means since I put all that delay in there, now our prime is under fire. So yeah, the situation is deteriorating. Okay, but the center's now down, so we're saved for the moment. It doesn't look like we got the 20 points off the flood. Red shot that down with 2 seconds to spare, and now red is getting the center back again. Red now has flood and center, and they've got fire on our prime once again. So yeah, this is going to turn out to be a real close match. We're going to have to pretty much fight this down to the end, if I remember correctly. That's not a good thing. They're probably, I think they just capped our prime. Or now they did, yeah. So we'll probably start taking fire on the core here shortly. And the flood, yep, there we go. And the flood is down to 27 seconds. So we may take damage from that also unless we manage to shoot that down. We do have fire on both of those. And I pretty much have nothing. I'm thinking about getting into that walker. I also see there's a captured Viper there that I'd like to get, but there's still a lock on it. Yeah, it looks like red's gonna get their, I think red got their 20 points there. We're gonna get pretty seriously behind, and I'm not really helping out by lording around the core like that all that time. But you know, it's once in a while I do end up dithering and, you know, kind of getting a little bit indecisive, but I want to do the best thing, you know. I did, okay, so I went forward there, shot down the flood, that's not bad. Now I'm going to go back here and support the prime a little bit. This isn't really the thing to do with a Viper, but I will do this from time to time, just kind of fly it around here and try to squish people. Now we got the orb holding down the prime, which is what I feel like he should be doing in this instance. Unless, at least until we find out where the red orb is, or until there's some danger that red might time out that flood. Either of those things would be good excuses to take the orb somewhere else. The flood is now getting rather short, so I'm going to head on over there. Bad news, the red orb is there, holding the flood, which means that unless we're really lucky, we're going to lose 20 points there. If they haven't shut it down by this time, yeah, there's no time to get over there, and it doesn't look to me like our orb even made the attempt, but he was probably pinned down by fire. It does happen that people completely miss the flood, you know, and just completely fail to even try to go get it, but usually it's just because they're being shot at. You know, it's kind of hard to get where you're supposed to be when there's people shooting at you. Well, either way, we're still in terrible trouble here. Our prime, we're about to lose our prime again. The flood's down to 32 seconds again. We're down to 49 points to red 100, so things are looking really bad. We have at least shot down the prime. But, okay, now we shot down the flood. So yeah, we're not going to lose any points immediately here. That's a good thing. Things aren't looking completely disastrous. I'll probably tend to hang close here to the prime. Oh, got shoved out the window. That's not good. Sometimes I tend to run the orb over and over. Sometimes I tend to, if I don't feel like I'm doing really well with the orb, or if I feel like it's more important that somebody be guarding the prime because nobody's doing it, I'll spend my time over there holding the prime. Those are a couple of really important things to do, I think. Somebody should always be running the orb, and if the prime is unshielded at all, somebody should be holding the prime. There we go. The prime is shielded for some reason. Yeah, the center went down. Since I'm down to 24 points, I'm not going to go after the center. I'm just going to try. I'm going to take the short route and just try to cap the flood. Again, I'm not going to try to hold the flood. I'm just going to cap it so we don't lose our 20 points. I don't really care if we don't get 20 points off the flood. All I care about is I don't want red getting 20 points off of it. Did manage to shoot down the enemy nemesis that was over there holding down the flood. That's a good thing. Here we go. This is going to fail. I noticed the deemer is up, but I don't have any heals to go up there and get it with, so I'm going to do this desperation thing. I'm sitting here with this sniper rifle, and I'm going to totally fail to headshot the guy that grabbed it. So at least I do know that red has it, so I'm forewarned that way. Forewarned is forearmed. And yeah, there's a couple of red guys up there. They're trying to harass me a little bit, but the only question at this point is where is that deemer? And there it is right there, and I'm going to just barely manage to get under cover before it goes off. Take out this guy and shoot that center back down. So at least, well, it looks like they're going to end up with the center anyway. They're building it anyway, but I think they may all be dead over there, hopefully. Yeah, they didn't quite manage to get it as completely as they wanted it. Fortunately or unfortunately, they decided to have their orb sitting over there on the flood, but we managed to kill that, so we do at least have some chance of shooting down the flood, although in the meantime, once again, we've lost our prime. I'm really surprised we kind of won this, because blue is really, because red is really kind of kicking our butt right now. They're pushing us back to our prime constantly, they're holding that flood constantly. They've taken off half our points already. I'm basically having to rush back and forth between the prime and the center of the prime and the flood a lot, just trying to keep us from losing points for the most part. Here comes that red orb, trying to cap the prime. I'm getting pushed all over the place. 22 seconds left on the flood, and I really want to go back there and get that. Yeah, see, I just been pushed off the link. I wanted to go back there to get the orb to try to get that flood back. I got pushed off the teleport. And our orb is wandering off in the general direction of the center while the flood ticks down below 10 seconds. Meaning we're going to lose another 20 points. So. If you want to see, I was completely pissed off at this point. I mean, I felt like that was complete stupidity, and how dare you try to run the orb to center? And I wouldn't be surprised if he was running the orb to center on foot for all that too. That would be the ultimate for me right there. Going to center when there's 10 seconds left on the flood. Going to center on the outside route. Going to center on foot. He probably had a tail. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the only reason why I'd probably stand out here and try to take on 3 people with a sniper rifle. I think I actually did manage to kill one of them with it, which is kind of nice. But to me, this is a complete waste of time. But at this point, I don't care. I figure we're gonna lose anyway. I'm kind of frustrated. I don't know what else to do. Well, now I'm kind of feeling like, well, maybe not. Maybe the situation isn't quite completely hopeless. I'm gonna get back here and defend the prime a little bit more. I notice our Nightshade is loitering around the area. I was trying to heal him a little bit. We're still pretty screwed up. Yeah, our orb is once again kind of wandering. Well, no, he is heading toward the prime, isn't he? That's not a bad thing. The red orb is also. We nearly got him stranded. Yeah, okay. I don't think I shot him down. The other guy did. I'm gonna suicide on it. We did manage to cap our prime. There's 50 seconds left on the flood. Somebody else grab the orb once again. We got snipers. When the enemy starts, when you start running into a lot of snipers on the other team, you know you're in trouble, because if the other team has a lot of good snipers, they can really hold you down on this map. So there's a lot of good sniping positions. Always a good idea to break out the stinger, if nothing else, if you're confronted with a lot of snipers. They hate the sniper people hate stingers. You know, it's like the perfect antidote for them, because it keeps them from aiming. You know, and it annoys them. Even though it's hard to kill anybody with it, you know, it kind of knocks them off balance. They have a hard time aiming their little sniper rifle, and they get really annoyed. Okay.
Denied.
We're doing a little bit better now. I haven't looked at the the most likely thing is that we picked up a player, or Red might have lost a player somewhere in here, and that's usually what happens. This game, it's unfortunate that people are allowed to leave and join whenever they want to. They should be forced to play the entire map, but you know, there's no way to do that. But yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of these matches do turn on the fact that yeah, one team was down a player. You know, even being down a single player when you've got a lot of good players, or a lot of players of, you know, roughly equal skill, it can make a huge difference. We've got almost the entire map now. We've pushed them all the way back to their prime. Oh, they're trying to take center back now, and they're fighting very hard. I mean, yeah, we could have easily lost this, even having half the map like we do. We're down. We got 8 minutes left. That's pretty good. We got the flood, and we don't have the center, so I'm gonna go back here and try to take the center back. Which, I can see. Yeah, we're definitely picking up some advantage here, because things are going our way. You can kind of tell. There is a tendency. I tended to yell at teams when we lose a lot as much as anyone, you know, which is a bad thing to do and everything. But you know, when you're on a team that's losing consistently, it can look like confidence, but probably a lot of that is illusion. You know, a lot of it's probably just you're down a couple of players, or you're down a couple of good players, I guess I should say. And when under those circumstances, it does tend to look a lot like your team just doesn't know what it's doing. But and well, to some extent they don't really. But really, you know, ultimately what's going on is that you're just short a player or two. This is what it can be. You know, when you got some kind of a numerical advantage, shit just naturally comes together. You know, and it looks like you're, you know, if you're on a slightly stronger team, it can look like you're playing a lot better than you really deserve. Okay, there's a nice, you know, spotted that shade coming around the corner, took him out. Things are really turning our way at this point. I really don't want to sit here and try to hold this flood, but I felt kind of pinned down. I didn't really feel like I had a chance of getting to the other side, but I was wanting. I didn't, you know, really, that's a bad time to sit there at the flood. It wasn't even built. I would have had to sit there for the full 60 seconds. I scream at people about that. I'm like, don't go to the flood with the orb when it isn't even built yet. But you'll see me. But I'll do it myself once in a while. Not that I really want to. Oh, there you go. There's a classic example right there. Guy thought he was going to cap, and the red orb followed him right in there. We're probably going to lose that 20 point. No, maybe not. I'm going to try to save the situation. There's 39 seconds left. I know that red orb is hanging over there. For sure that red orb is hanging over there at flood. They've got people blocking for him back here, but I'm going to get past them, luckily. That buff stew guy, he's a noob. He was too hard to kill. This other guy's going to be more trouble. I'm just trying to stay the hell out of his way so I can get through here. And now I got to shoot this guy down, and I just managed to do it. So that was a good piece of luck there.
Red core is secure.
But that's what you got to do in that situation when they start leaving, you know. I tell people, you know, don't try to hold the orb the full 60 seconds with the, don't try to hold the flood the full 60 seconds with the orb.
Red core is vulnerable. Attack the enemy core.
Just because that's the kind of thing that happens is you're not going to hold it the full 60 seconds. But when you're having to play the other side of that, where you're having to take the flood back from some guy holding it with the orb, if he's got any support at all, it can be tough. But even with that, you know, I'm still against it. There's just no way. I mean, if you can win that way, it just means you've got a strong team. That's, you know, because you've got to have a strong team to be able to hold the flood with the orb and not lose the whole map at the same time, which is usually what happens. The orb is just too important. You know, you got to use it to take the map, because if you're not taking the map, if you lose the map, that 20 points you get off that flood isn't going to help, because they're just going to shoot your core down. Okay, let's definitely turn it our way now. I mean, we're probably going to end up winning this off the flood though for all of this. If you can manage to hold on to the majority of the map, then yeah, you can win with the flood. That's what it comes down to. But I'd rather not have the orb there at the flood. You know, if you're gonna win with the flood, try to hold it without the orb. Use it. I just want to use the orb to hold the map. And preferentially, that's what I'll do. Although again, you know, who am I to talk? Once in a while, yeah, I will take it to the flood if I feel like I don't have a chance to get. If I feel like I don't have a good route, you know. Like here, or if I feel like, yeah, the center just went down. It's a long way to center, and there's only 20 seconds left. That's right on the edge, you know. 20 seconds is still a fairly long time to me, but I will try to hold this 20 seconds. And if I got a lot of health, and I am looking at the map this whole time. I mean, if our prime goes down, I'm not going to be happy. But you can see we are holding it there. And an important point, another thing I should say here, a real important point is, if you manage to hold that flood the full 60 seconds, and you're standing there with the orb, that's a really bad time to cap the flood with the orb. Don't do that. Take the orb and try to cap the center or some other objective with it. Don't just cap the flood. Well, you know, even that, you know, that's not absolute either. I mean, if you're way down on health or something, yeah, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to cap the flood. I'll always cap the flood if I'm way down in health. If I can't get to anything else, yeah, it's always, but reflexively, you know, it's something I'd like to avoid. You know, I don't want to hold the flood full 60 seconds and then cap it right immediately afterwards. I want to use that orb to get to some other objective, you know, like the enemy prime or the center or your own prime if you have to. 28 seconds on that flood, yeah, he's probably going to try to hold it. Well, I'm going to leave him to it and try to shoot the prime a little bit. But I ran into these guys. There's Bar. And that duck stab there, or whatever his name is, I can't remember. I think the center's going to go down before I can manage to do anything here, or maybe we will manage to shoot this down. Well, we're going to get another 20. We're going to get another 20 points here.
Attack the floodgate.
There we go. We timed out the flood again. So yeah, we probably will win this off the flood.
2 minutes remain.
But despite that, you know, I mean, despite that, the map is important. You gotta hold the map. You can't, even if you're gonna win off the flood, you can't do it unless you can at least hold your prime, you know. And it's pretty risky if you're pushed back to your prime, you know. Trying to hold that flood when you're pushed back to your prime, you know, there's definitely a risk involved there. You don't really want to try that unless you feel like there's a real good chance that unless you're feeling lucky. I probably would have headed straight for the enemy prime, except I saw that orb coming in. Since I know where the orb is, now would be a good time to go to the enemy prime, except now the flood is down to 12 seconds. And when it's that short, yeah, I really do want to try to time it out. And even if I get killed right there, we'll still manage to time it out, because they're not going to be able to shoot it down in that short amount of time. We did almost, yeah, we are in danger of losing center now, thanks to me holding the orb at the flood like that. See, this is what you run into. You're not using the orb to hold the map, so therefore you're going to tend to start losing the map. So I'm really going to want to start paying attention to the map at this point. The orb is heading towards center, which is not a bad thing if you can get there. The Deemer's up also, which tends to be ignored a lot on this map. It's hard to get to on foot anyway. The people at center are the ones who really ought to be going after the Deemer because they got those vehicles that can jump up there and get to it, you know? Okay, we got the center back, and the flood is down to 12 seconds. We're not going to hold it this time. That's okay. And what? Look at me! I'm going back for the orb on foot.
7.
I figure, what the hell? I mean, nobody's gonna go get it. I might as well. And I got 130 hit points. I'm probably the guy that can get it. I would have took the teleport, but there's no teleport there. You have to build up the flood before you get to the teleport. And yeah, there we go. That's the end of my ride. I was like, oh boy, I'm gonna get a tow. Oh wait, that's a red viper. Oh no, that doesn't work. Well, that puts me back here, so I'm going to play defense on center, keep an eye on that flood. There's under over. Here comes somebody else trying to shoot the center down. Flood's ticking down, 44 seconds. If we lose 20 seconds on the flood, we're going to be in bad shape here. And the orb is completely motionless, but we got the prime shot down. I'm going back for the orb. We need to get the flood.
Red core is secure.
The score is a lot more even now, but we could still, if we lose 20 seconds on the flood, we could definitely lose this real quick. Yeah, this is looking much. Yeah, we are still behind somewhat, but holding most of the map like this, we're in real good shape. We got 55 seconds left on that flood. I really don't want to try to hold it all that time, but it's kind of looking like I don't have a choice. Okay, the prime's back down and head back towards the flood. Get shot down right there. Yeah.
Red core is vulnerable. Grab the Redeemer. Red core is
I really hate doing that, but you know, but what I'm doing is I'm watching the map. You know, there's oh, there we go. That ended rather suddenly. Okay, real nice match though. Heavy.